I'm telling you, quality assurance in Another World is literally what SAO wanted to be in the beginning arc, but just didn't live up to the initial excitement and wow factor. And, anytime you make those comparisons or make that comment, SAO fans, even to this day, will, get upset by that statement. But SAO, not really a bad anime, but it's just a mid-anime. It's something that's mostly held together by animation and an initial buzz hook. But the thing about it is, there's a reason why a lot of SEO fans will say Gun Gale Online is better, and it's not simply because it wasn't written by Reki Kawahara, but it's because it actually understands game design. But the game design never really was the thing that bothered me the most about SEO. It was more so that, beyond the threat of die in the game, die in real life, it never really lives up to that stake. And then after that's no longer there, then you're just left with mediocre game design. Quality assurance isn't held together by production. The production's fine. I actually don't think it's ugly to look at, and I think sometimes the animation can be quite good, but it's a pretty average anime production overall. The thing that holds it together is you have that almost die in the game, die in real life hook, but without an explicit answer. The thing about SAO's initial hook is that it has you concerned, like, oh shit, if they die, they're gonna die in real life. And then very quickly, there's not much to it after that. This is a show that refuses to give you an answer. We don't know if they die if they log out, if they respawn. We have no idea. The man they killed only came back because of a soul stone. Without that, we have no idea. The characters we completely annihilated and locked them in a state of, are they conscious? Who knows? Was that enough to force them to log out? Who knows? We literally have no idea, and the only option we have is to clear the world of bugs, build a world that I guess is good enough, and maybe Tesla will let us log out. Who the hell knows? This could all be happening over the course of 3 minutes IRL, yet they're experiencing a lifetime. The uncertainty and the fear factor of having Haga not know, can he risk his life because he knows he can respawn? Does he have to treat it like this? But most importantly, what bugs are gonna, the fear of being forced out of a loading zone because using guards, this is where the game design comes in. Using guards as a buffer to check your wares before going into the next area so it has time to load. Bypassing that and stuck in a froze state. Are you active? Do you see everything around you? Are you just staring into black oblivion? That is so much more freaky, and for me, this is why I love this show so much, because I'm constantly still looking for that excitement of being trapped in a game, but having that true excitement of, oh shit, this is actually intense. And honestly, as much as I love stuff like Shangri-La Frontier, I think that's the best pure video game anime we've had maybe ever, because it purely understands players playing a video game. But this is the show that I think has done it the best in terms of the trapped excitement. And SEO fans will get upset by that statement, but the thing is I don't even, I've seen everything SEO, and it's a fine, enjoyable show, but as someone who's always been disappointed by it never living up to what it should have been, this show is filling that void for me. Now, of course, I do have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and thought to any of these quality assurance episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So I would probably argue at this point in time, this is the most undervalued show of the season. Now, there is a lot of shows, even shows I'm watching, like stuff like Dungeon People, I think is criminally underappreciated. But when I look at the quality of this show, from top to bottom, and how few people are giving it a chance, this is the most undervalued show for me. 100%. To see this show go so hard in the most, it's easy to digest. If you've never played a video game, you would understand the concepts they're bringing up. The idea of loading a main mission versus open world, and the idea of characters being there or not being there based on how you do things. The idea of skipping loading zones in order to put them in a free state because they're games, because rather than making it a universal thing where everyone's games act as a new reality, which is what something like an SAO, a Log Horizon and stuff does, what this show does is, because they're all technically logged into an MMORPG, what ends up happening is when your game state breaks, it breaks for you rather than the collective. And that's a really interesting, differing opinion and idea that I really haven't seen done before. And I am sure I'm not the only one shooketh by the idea that we eliminated all debugger stones already. I thought we were just gonna leave. And the idea of not only freezing them and removing their debugger stones, didn't see that coming. Personally, I think we probably should have either A, just pushed them a bit further, because here's the thing. If their game states can resume by just entering that tunnel, if there's another player, if there's an NPC that stumbles into them and pushes their character model in, they could reload and be fine. Which means they might want to take revenge. Probably should have killed them or pushed them away a bit more, but that's just me. But very interesting when the boss comes back, because, you know, we have seen the boss do bad things, like, we can tell the boss was the best out of the batch, clearly, but that isn't saying much. I mean, a small piece of shit is bigger piece of shit, but it's still a piece of shit at the end of the day. But there is something about his VA that I was kind of hoping he might reluctantly travel with us. I don't know, I'm always a fan when, like, you know, one character allows it, but then another character has a deep hatred. Like, stuff like a Negan traveling with the crew in The Walking Dead. Like, it just adds for spice. I'm sure we'll bump into him again, but it is true, only they have debugger stones. The issue is debugger stones can be taken, and I have a feeling this man, if he did travel with us, would probably try to steal Hagas, if we're being 100%. But fantastic episode. Was not expecting that at all. I thought they were screwed. And the idea that it was all according to plan, that gust of wind, like, I wasn't sure what was happening. Like, I thought they were just going to get jumped by NPCs or something for skipping the line. Didn't even cross my mind that they'd be in a frozen state, which honestly was already kind of foreshadowed given what happened to Haga's party in that one cave in terms of different glitches and stuff. I definitely have been loving this show. It is so freaking good. And honestly, while I don't think this show is remarkable production-wise, the character models are consistent, the animation style they're going with is consistent, but it's not the Sakuga Fest of the season. It's not the show that's going to blow you away the most visually, but it is a show that is consistent, it knew what it could be, and honestly for that I have respect, because it doesn't come across as a show that's struggling in its production. Rather, it feels like a show that's confident in its production, and while it's not a show that's going to be maybe hyped up as much for big moments the same way something like an SAO will, the thing about a show like Quality Assurance is it will stand tall because of its writing and amazing characters, rather than a flashy swordsman fight sequence, and for that I appreciate it. Let me know what you're feeling though down below. We are now 7 episodes in, and honestly this show has gotten progressively better week after week if you ask me, but let me know how you're feeling down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and of course like I mentioned we have those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there I'll just give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we have What's Down, Tommy Jameson, Vuko, Master Creator, Arasato, Alexin Free, and we also have Erica Winter. So I appreciate the support everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.